Yeah, we can start whenever.
Okay. Yeah. What's up, robbers rune heads? Robbers and rune heads?
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
And oh, wait a second. Did I hit yes or no last time?
I think yeah, you hit yes because you're... That's interesting too. I had the thought... Oh, here we go. So this is the...
Oh. Okay, yeah, chapter select, erase, copy.
Yeah, I think maybe if you start...
Unknown.
We maybe don't have to like fuck around with your saves here. Maybe I'll just show you the video.
I'm pretty sure I have a backup somewhere.
Oh, okay. Fair.
I don't know. I literally just copy pasted the file to a different folder, so...
Yeah, I mean...
don't know if I trust that backup.
Yeah, I also don't know if the architecture here is like much more sophisticated than just a text file is in the right location with the right name. Oh yeah, it's just that's the language switcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just literally pulled up Google Translate on my phone and it just says Japanese. Cool.
Cool. I would hope so.
I would hope that's what it would say.
Yeah, if you want to try, you could like copy your file maybe once or twice and then like erase the duplicates. Here's a fun thing. Try copying your current file into like the next slot. So we've got some like...
target for the reflection.
Yeah. So the division is complete.
Oh no, wait a second. That's freaky. Copying isn't division.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, right? First it's a reflection, then it's a division.
Okay, let's do it one more time. And just to be absolutely safe, I'm gonna erase the last one.
Yeah.
The one farthest away from me. Or farthest away from my real save.
Mm-hmm.
Truly erase it.
Truly.
Yeah, I guess so. Then it will be destroyed.
Yeah, two verifications there. And big angry red. Not
Yeah.
angry, but, you know.
Yeah, I kind of angry.
Yeah.
This is an action that will happen in anger. It was as if it was never there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
someone's projecting maybe.
I feel like more games should have fun with their file systems.
Yeah, should have a sentient UI.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, this room was silent. I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Got our party of 3. All the things that we had. I have the spooky sword. Now there's a wood blade hanging out in our inventory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just had the thought, couldn't I nerf what's her face? No, I can't. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's got to have her her signature weapon.
That's fair.
But I mean, you can choose to just not equip her with anything else.
I might at some point. I mean, I guess our HP is refilled, but I was really starting to feel like, you know what? If this goes on too much longer without a save point, I'm just gonna let her. I'm gonna let her do her thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. New pattern. Diagonals. That walk forward. Okay, that's easy. Kind of, hopefully. Watch me fuck this up. Ugh, that's really disorienting to time. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of... I don't mind those puzzles. I feel like they have a certain flow to them. Kind of get into a groove with them, but they are deeply uncomfortable.
Hey, Yeah, and that flow state I think is what's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like having to like shift gears mentally and be like, no, okay, if I just walk at the rhythm that I know works, it will work. Pond man. Okay.
Good old pond man.
They probably don't have enough health to take a hit, do they?
It's always a little risky. But yeah, if they're showing up in threes like that, I don't know.
Well, I said I'd let Susie do her thing, so we'll try. Actually, no, I gotta make sure I'm acting on not the first guy. He might not be around next round to spare.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, you could try to spare. I don't know. Are they one act and then spareable, or are they like two?
I think they were, but I don't know.
Because you could always try to do the act on it and then have ralsei spare in the same turn.
Ooh. Yeah, see, that's really like compounding my losses though if it goes wrong.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Lose an act, lose a spare, and he dies.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So we'll see what happens. See, that would be extra cruel. You whispered goodnight to Pond Man.
Oh god.
And Susie.
Just fucking split it in half.
Okay, yeah, that's a one move. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Pond Man 1.
Carnage.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, well, I can take at least one. I would not imagine they can take a second.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, because I don't have big magic, so I can only... Yeah. Weak and sleepy. Okay, yeah. Do the same thing, I guess. Oh no, wait a second.
Let's see, its name was Blue. Does that mean that, I think it's tired, so you could use ralsei, I think, to spare it.
Well, I could use Pacify.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, see, I didn't catch what happened there, because we definitely targeted the middle guy.
Yeah, I think
but
it's like...
that means we didn't see what statuses he picked up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't come back to this screen.
I think maybe because it lost enough HP.
Yeah, I got hit real hard.
Yeah. Like, it does say weak.
Okay, well then we'll move this across a couple of turns. I'll target this guy, and I'll let you just do your magic. Yeah. Which means Susie then has to hit the bottom one, and we'll just hope that he makes it.
Oh.
Oh, that might be bad. Maybe he doesn't have any defense and he's asleep. Okay, no, it's about the same.
Yeah.
Dilated. So... Okay, so saying goodnight was enough to... enough to make him tired.
Because it put him to sleep, and then I think the attack wakes him up.
Oh.
And so now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to stack some money, so I want to keep that TP. So I'm gonna try our two-step again.
Yeah.
Sleep spare. Okay. Let's look at all that money. Okay, but now all the pedestals are empty. Well, the ones in front.
I'm so tempted to read that.
In which voice?
In just, the voice that it implies. Those were peaceful times. But now even the boss has been reduced to the king's peon.
Okay, so that's kind of confusing. King now, we're referring to chess pieces. And we have a prince following us, and there's knights.
Yes, because you were just talking to a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
I think the only thing missing, like I said before, like meeples, but also maybe a tarot deck.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm working on one of those extremely slowly.
Yeah.
Not a full deck, but Mr. Society. I like Mr. Society a lot.
Well, that's fair. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna listen back to this recording, and I'm gonna like forget that I did silly voices. I'm gonna be so upset.
Well, I mean, now he's doing the voice. Well, step on my boots.
Well, step on my boots.
You remembered our name.
Also, you boys or girls. or whatever in between.
I mean, he is getting better at this.
Yeah.
Oh. Is he just a little checkers piece?
Mm-hmm.
And he's kinged.
Been crowned.
Okay. Probably a boss of some kind.
Hmm.
Let's do K round. Okay. Let's actually check him out. See what happens. I'll defend the squishy and I'll let Susie do her thing.
God.
Attack 9, defense 3. I don't know what those numbers mean, but those are bigger numbers than I remember seeing before.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Susie, you're so tough, but
Yeah.
I don't know about this. Okay, well, yeah, we know he's got a lot of attack, he's got some decent defense. We could double bow to him.
Hmm.
Let's see how he feels about that. Ooh.
I always heard how funny K-Round is. Like, I think this battle theme is only used in this, or like for this enemy.
Oh, new attack.
It's like such a funny, weird theme.
20% loose. Well, thank you for letting me know. I'm tempted to do it by myself, but I bet it's only going to be 30% loose if I do that.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Since I can maybe had 1,000 health, we can do this without Susie. We can let her work out her whatever this is.
Let her, just take out her aggression. No. I forgot about the almond milk.
Oh no, HP and attack went up. You know, I actually don't know what our attack power is. And it's got 300 extra HP, right? Oof.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Yeah, and you're already at 40%.
Well, now I know.
Yeah.
What, ralsei can do about 40 damage, and Kris can do, is that about 70?
Yeah, I think it was about 100. I think it showed them both separately.
And then Susie had 110, like she normally does. Okay.
Yeah. And that's just with her unupgraded axe
True.
too.
And I grabbed the spooky sword, so...
Yeah.
Also, man, I took one hit there and that really hurt.
Yeah, does ralsei have any healing spells at this point?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, okay. One bow, one heal. Oh wow, only 35? Okay, what's the attack? What's the attack? Go easy on me. Oh, 75.
Yeah. Okay, that's not bad.
Alright, we can do this. Starfruit.
Alright, you get that max TP.
Oh, yeah, we can game this. We can say one bow. Oh wait, do I want max TP?
Yeah, you get more money. Why not?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it doesn't cost any TP to bow.
True, but I would like to have a little HP coming out of this battle, but that's okay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, did you sell all of your healing items?
No, I think I kept one or two things that probably heal me. I haven't tested them yet, though.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's less than from the little guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he only just got crowned. He didn't like inherit the royal fortune yet.
Clowns.
You clowns. I love when ralsei's kind of a bitch.
Sweetly low.
Yeah. I mean, he always couches things in a sweet way, but... left it smoldering.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the cooler team to be on.
They have flaming bicycles.
They have flaming bicycles. Toothpaste boy.
Dang. See, he is getting a lot better at this.
Yeah.
Well, one step at a time.
Also, I like how Lancer just kind of slides around. He doesn't have a walking sprite, he just slides.
No. I feel like it's because he doesn't need one.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, that's why I wish I would have given her the wooden sword. Or if I could have, I would have.
Yeah, you had some good gamer intuition there.
Well,
Truly some advanced door technology.
yeah, I guess that is how doors work.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's typically how doors work.
Two different places.
Yeah.
Okay, let's grab that save. Let's check the other screen. Yeah, no, let's do the door. If it's gonna give you a music change, that sounds like a new thing, so. Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, so you want to like go back to the shop.
Yeah. Let's see how this guy's doing. I think he's only got the few things to say.
Yeah, at this point. Like, certain things will trigger changes in available dialogue, but yeah, for right now, I think we already went through.
I do remember we talked about the Lightners. Yeah, they're in harmony. They were light gods to us. Yes, this is what I meant before about maybe a certain amount of reverence.
Mm-hmm.
Our protectors, our creators.
Yeah.
Its purpose. Yeah, I feel like you're missing a bullet point there, buddy. I think we all know who.
Yeah, what's that thought?
Who locked them away.
Oh. Who do you think locked him away?
That's kind of my feeling. If we're kind of in that, it's not quite Lucifer's story, but hang on, let me.
So who do you think locked them away?
It starts to feel a bit like the schism is. I don't know. Like on one hand, you could say that the schism would have been necessary because darkners are darkners and they do what they do. I mean, they have dark fountains of things that are apparently going to end the world, but then the world will be saved after the world ends. You know, prophecies. But I don't know. That's also an option. Sometimes your other half, in this case the Lightners, have just decided something different for you and your people. And I don't know, and I guess that's kind of what I'm like keying on is like, if they left a legacy that isn't clear but has enough positive connotations with it that they can't be blamed for what happened, that sounds kind of intentional to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's an interesting take.
kind of my thought on that. Got candy, burgers, more amber cards, and another spooky sword.
The burgers are pretty good healing, but I don't know how much you really need. Like, so you're kind of tearing through these battles so far.
I know, I could just sell off my candies.
I mean, I would always keep a little bit of healing, but
Yeah, especially for like the negative HP
yeah,
mechanic.
yeah, reviving and stuff.
Okay, well, cool. Good to know.
Yeah, that is interesting that there's like just a music change in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got kind of like waiting room feeling over there, and now it's like, okay, here's a place. No. Oh. He's like those. It's like Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to see what his attack is, so we'll check it first. Attack of 8, defense of 1. See, wasn't the King Checker's dog an attack of 9?
King Checker's dog. Yeah, it was 9 on the baseline.
Huh.
But then it drank some almond milk.
That's true.
Yeah, it practiced self-care. So, you know, a good life lesson we all could learn.
Man.
Yeah, why not? Oh, got a QTE.
Nice. Yeah, I can spare. Cool. Just racking up the cash. Okay, just had to check.
That's a good impulse.
You know, there's a little bit of perspective. It's like you could hide a door back there.
Yeah. They've got their like anime villain names.
Yeah.
Fucking Team Rocket.
Right. Yeah. See, now I'm kind of wondering if we should go back and squash a few baddies. Neither of us has enough HP to actually take a hit.
I mean, I've never had to grind, really, in this game.
But you know what I mean? If at least one of us had at least 100 HP. I'll have to go back and look at those items, see if we can't stack a little more there.
Yeah. I also don't know if the enemies, I think they maybe respawn, but also, again, I'm not like an incredible gamer. But yeah, I could see maybe getting maybe another amber card or something. Or just, stocking up on healing items.
Well, I got a new thing they're doing here.
A dinner hole.
You know.
Yeah, as you do.
Okay, well, what's the deal, buddy?
Stump's orifice.
Yeah, word choice, man.
I love Lancer. He's so good. This is one of my favorite interactions in this chapter.
Come on. You gotta get in there.
He needs to live a little.
Yeah.
It's full of delicious salsa.
Yeah, I guess not everyone's into tree stump salsa. Shouldn't have.
She's a rough and tumble. She doesn't care about your grammatical conventions.
Okay.
She's an anti-authoritarian.
Thank you, Ralsei.
And he's a fucking nerd boy.
I know. Why I made him eat the salsa.
This kid's gotta get something out of his ass. Egg boy. boy.
Okay, well, I'll leave him to it.
Yeah, that's not ominous.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm the only one with a heart, so.
Yeah, it's true. You can just throw ralsei into the line of fire.
Oh, come on, really? Okay. Let's check a branch. Fair. Oh. Okay. A scarf that you use as a weapon. I know who that goes to.
Yeah. Danger scarf.
Huh. Does that attack? Okay. Oh, I already did stack ralsei with a white ribbon and an amber card. But I have no extra defense. That might be the thing I pick up then. Another amber card.
Oh yeah, the other thing is like you haven't been getting experience so far. So I also don't remember if like, maybe I should look it up. I don't know if you do get experience through.
That's why I say maybe we have to go back and beat up some dudes.
Oh, but like I don't know if even that gets you experience in this game. Yeah.
I mean, because the one combat we were in where we actually defeated someone, it was on Susie. So I wasn't sure if like, does she just steal the XP or?
Now that I think about it, I think
no XP? I
think experience has a different meaning in this game because you kind of just automatically level up in the next chapter. Yeah, there's some like kind of narrative fuckery going on there. That's like I said, whatever damage she was doing to like that enemy in that battle is not gonna. Yeah. Oh
yeah, that trope.
Yeah. Because they're also weaker, like enemies than the heroes of legend. Like I said, I've never had to grind in this game, and there's kind of no point to unless you need money.
Oh wow, it's a fast one.
Which is nice and also kind of a double-edged sword when you get to like the secret bosses, but
Wow, okay. Well, before I do that, what are you guys up to? Just get saucier every time.
yeah. True character development.
Well.
All right, a tutorial for the puzzle that you completed for the for the key that you weren't supposed to get.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was just like sheer dumb luck. God damn, the RNG was in your favor. Well, not RNG, the nature's RNG.
I'm not surprised. Oh yeah, well. Okay. I mean, are they
You're just gonna try to brute force it again.
Okay. Well...
There's a screen to the right.
I know.
Because I know you play video games.
Yeah, it's... You have to at least, I mean, now I know how this thing works. I'm not going to sit here and fuck with it, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if you think about it, there's only so many combinations there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really isn't the most insane thing to try to brute force by hand, but...
Well, I don't have a heart. What's this guy's deal?
Oh.
Blocks.
Oh, Bloxer. This guy's fun.
Oh, well, so you may get hurt on this. I'm sorry. 9 and 2. Yeah, see, everyone's got a lot of attack.
Yeah, and I'm not always totally sure what those stats mean. I think you brought that up earlier. And there is kind of precedent in the other game for that to sometimes be unreliable.
Oh,
it's got its legs and its chest.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Okay, well, let's try rearranging this guy again.
Oh.
Spare and... Yeah, honestly, I'm not too worried about money right now. I know I'm holding on to like 300 something. Oh.
Oh, yeah, I guess the spare happened first. Yeah, it's alright.
That action economy. It's a bruiser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to note it?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that means we should go back and do that.
Oh, that's right, there are only 3. I was thinking there were 4.
Oh, okay. I see. Do I see? No. Okay. So then we'd have to go and then back and then that and then that one. The strangest folks.
Yeah. It will boost your defense.
Oh, eliminate.
But we didn't agree with that. God.
Alright, well. I did say I didn't have any armor.
Sophie just like cat blocking you there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the cat is on my hands.
Oh.
It goes me, microphone, cat, and then the keyboard.
She's a cat sandwich.
Oh, again, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I think the guys kind of start getting easier to evade after this point too. They start to have like predictable patterns.
Yeah.
They don't just home in on you, but...
Yeah, I guess I'm the one to act, so... Range. I guess I could have spared. Though... Okay, well, we'll do it right this time. Nothing else? That's all it's gonna give me? Okay. I mean, we could brute force that too. But there are fewer and fewer options than what restrictions they give us.
I mean, you could go check out those mysterious holes.
Good.
But, yeah, be your own algorithm.
Okay. Well. Okay. Okay. Alright. Heart. Okay. Heart. And then spade or club. So that didn't really help. Okay. So heart. Spade diamond, really?
Alright.
See, I could have stumbled across that.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't have had
Met
that.
the weird Cerberus thing.
Yeah, this delightful character.
And it's her birthday. Yeah, okay. Talk boys, sports, or B-Day. Let's try the B-Day thing.
Yeah, there was a hint for this back a ways, but I didn't even remember which person to talk to. I mean, I think I do remember which ones are the ones, but I don't know if you just want to go through them all.
I want to eat a football. I mean, we got 2 out of 3 that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Do a check.
Yeah. I think the last one was trees. That was like the other one that was an option. Yeah, sports, boys, and trees. It's an interesting Clover's an interesting character. She's also just very, very cute.
Oh. It's funny meeting you here without combat music.
Yeah, without any aggression.
Sure. Oh no. Oh, okay. It's gonna be a jar of salsa, isn't it?
Gentle clowns.
I mean, they're gonna need the help.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's true. I'm with Lancer on that. Any plant needs snacks.
Brains need carbs to think good. Sophie. Oh, she's just turning around.
Yeah, again, this is why we need the technical difficulties cards. One for cat, one for dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going to question that he was talking about skin and blood on a jelly donut.
Yeah.
That made sense to me.
It is called a heart's donut.
Yeah. Alright, you two. Okay, so a door is going to be Big Sailor Field. Okay. And I can't leave this menu.
Yeah.
So we'll just come right back where we were.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, here's a dude.
Sure is a dude.
Hey, okay.
Oh yeah.
This is the person we were missing.
Can fix that nasty cake.
Yeah, there were a few things, I think. Top cake, okay, that tracks. Oh, really? Oh, really? I don't know if you can fix anything. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. It wants all three parts before it can be fixed. That makes sense.
Yeah, you need the top and the switch.
I don't think it said bottom.
It says the bottom part of a key.
Okay, it's the bottom part of the key. Okay.
Yeah. I know what I'm talking about.
We'll give him a tough one. Let's fix the people.
Fix us. I can fix them.
I mean, that is one way to do it. Just take multiple blows to the head and then you'll be better.
A nice massage.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So that's one branch, so I'm assuming this
No.
Oh, caterpillar thing.
Caterpillar.
Okay, Mitch.
What did you say?
Mitch?
Mitch.
Is that Mitch Hedberg?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of drugs. I still do.
I still do, yeah.
Something like that.
I thought you said okay, bitch. And I was like, oh, that's some needless hostility, I feel like, to the poor worm.
To the poor worm. No, I appreciate the reference.
Yeah.
That he probably doesn't know that it's making.
Yeah, it might. Who knows?
It's a Gen X worm. Hey.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Yeah, someone's examining the tile sets.
Got $40 for that. Go buy another donut.
Hell yeah.
Wow, okay. They only give me one space. Oh, here's a nice one. Oh yeah, revivement.
Hell yeah.
That's a big one.
So I think these things, they're called, I think the variable for them is like scissor dancer, but I think they're kind of supposed to look like the Japanese, or like the kanji characters for heaven.
Oh, okay.
Or
yeah.
character for heaven. It's sweet little boy.
Yes, all the sweet little boys with mustaches.
Yes. I've been looking forward to this. Presented by Lancer Industries, which was made up right now.
Oh, okay. Create a machine to thrash your own ass. Sounds good to me. Right, duck?
For guns lovers.
I mean, duck tank.
Duck tank? Yeah, what kind of build are you going for? You going for a little bit of guns?
Oh, I didn't even notice the stats over there.
A little bit of hot?
I was just going with
Whatever looked cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair too.
Sneaky duck tank.
Sneaky duck tank. Alright. The twigs and branches in her hair.
Yeah. Same.
I love it when ralsei's kind of a bitch. I think the first time that I played this, I built like a full duck.
Oh.
And the narration, or like the dialogue at the end, instead of saying like, "This is your machine, is that okay?" It said like, "Your machine sucks ass." Is that okay?
Okay, I feel There's something I was looking for here. Okay, guys.
Well.
That's enough.
Yeah, I don't remember if there's really much else in that room.
So I was hanging right on every turn. I feel like I might have missed something in the middle. So I have to come back and check. Yeah, that guy there.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I know how to do that. There is a hint, I think, later. I don't know if you...
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, this is a small... small space. There's something of a path on it.
There we go, yeah.
No other secrets? Oh.
Oh, yeah. These poor guys. Sophie. She was about to just like sit on your arm.
Yeah, she's trying to find a good spot.
Yeah. She's got a whole bed.
She does, and she doesn't want it.
She's taking up like a quarter of the desk space with the bed.
Hey, there we go. 2 out of 3.
You got your, probably the switch.
Right. The middle. Oh, you guys. Yeah, see, that's kind of funny. That's almost an oblique reference to like 90s like detergent commercials.
It might be. Knowing this developer, it might be.
Though I think that was like a stuffed bear or something, the one I'm thinking of. I think that one's still around.
Oh, yeah, like the white teddy bear that's like got kind of a creepy vibe.
So creepy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh. Okay, well, sorry.
Ooh. He's just so fluffy. A musty crone.
They're worth a lot of money, though. I just picked up like 240 off them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird, the money distribution of some of these enemies. I never thought about that before.
And it seems to respawn.
Yeah.
Like, if you, yeah, talking about grinding, like that would be the spot, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. Yeah, we'll keep pushing forward. Just want to make sure I grab that chest, because it seemed like it was useful, and now we've got 2 out of 3 keys. Oh boy, okay.
Okay, there's two Easter eggs coming up. I'm gonna get real excited. I'm gonna make you do them. But first you gotta get past this guy.
I don't care. I'm just gonna underflight.
Oh, yeah, you gotta ring that bell. Ring that bell. Subscribe. Okay, so go to the left. Go to the left. Sorry.
No.
This is the first of 2 Easter eggs that are very important. Okay, so you met the original Starwalker. That's an extremely important Easter egg.
Okay. No, I'm glad I met him.
Yeah, if we ever do chapter 2, it's pretty fun. Okay, so if you want to see the other Easter egg, might take a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, can I see that sign again?
Yeah, something about revolve around the center.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a puzzle hint.
Yeah. Darker gets more you can see.
Though I mean lore relevant puzzle hint. Okay, so actually, if you go back to the start of that room, just walk back and forth between these two rooms, over and over, until yeah, you'll know when it's time to.
Oh.
Yeah, do you remember this music?
The track, yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot you can walk out of bounds in this room.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is the Easter egg I was talking about that I was excited for.
Yeah. Really lets you know this is kind of a weird room.
Yeah, something fucked up about this. Okay, anyway. Oh, I forgot that it respawns you there. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
I forgot I would do that. It's not that hard to get back to.
Grab another save. Don't look at the time on there. I think we are at about time.
Yeah, we got through the tree man room.
Yeah,
that was kind of the thing that I wanted to.
We'll have to come back and rerun that, but
yeah,
now I know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a break, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do want to talk about the game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as we get deeper into the game, especially this sort of like, it feels like middle section, I have less heady things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And more just like, oh, the game's in character, yeah.
Yeah, I have very little that I'm really thinking about, because we've already talked about the Tree Man music,
Mm-hmm.
so, but.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go in order from maybe light to heavy.
Mm-hmm.
My lightest stuff here is just like, I think I really appreciate like the puzzle, bullet hell, combat. The flow of the game is good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a certain amount of like, yeah, old school qualities to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely in this sort of new genre that I feel like I don't know if anyone else is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are definitely a lot of other like game maker, RPG maker types out there, but for me, Undertale and Deltarune are like the only two games that exist in the genre, just
Mm-hmm.
because of my exposure to it. And like, it's funny because like I've been aware of these games for so long and sort of had a sense of what they are, but never really sat down and played them.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit down and play it, it's like, oh yeah, this feels right. This captures a certain like aspect of old school gaming, like down to the fact that like I feel a little clumsy on the arrow keys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's quite enough different sprites or walk animations to cover all 8 cardinal directions,
Mm-hmm.
up, down, left, right, and then diagonals.
Yeah.
And you can also feel it too, as there's a certain amount of inertia and movement and lag when you hit the run key, and it's like, but it all kind of builds into that same feeling of like, oh, this feels like playing the original Mario.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like playing I want to say Master Blaster. I don't know if I've shown you that one.
Master Blaster is an interesting combination of words. Anyway.
It is.
Oh, well, okay. So also because of like maybe naughty, funny reasons, but also because of lore reasons.
Okay.
But
no, it's definitely a phrase you would mishear.
Yeah.
Across the room and be like,
it's like,
what now?
It's like being a master debater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you clips of that game. at some point, because I remember that game because down the street from me growing up, I had some neighbors, some friends. I don't even know if we went to the same school. School boundaries are weird sometimes, right? But they had a Nintendo system and a stack of games. I think some of them were imported even, which was kind of wild to me. So that was like kind of the first place I'd ever played like more than just Super Mario Brothers, but also like Mario 3, also Mario 2, which was a wild game. And yeah, I think the game's called Master Blaster, kind of a combination side scroller in a tank and top down sort of Contra style like shooter game. Really interesting, really strange, good soundtrack, and great mix of gameplay where you're in one of two modes. But in particular, the spike floors in that game, and kind of the sort of hedgerow path style of the top down movement and like puzzling, super familiar.
Yeah,
like that rings a ton of bells. Like that's like kind of the blast from the past. I feel playing this game is like, yeah, the guy making this game, I feel like maybe we played a lot of the same things and have a lot of the same memories of those things.
Yeah, something that always comes up for me, especially, and it's always interesting engaging with like the sections of, not even the sections of fandom that I do, it's just kind of the broad, I guess the people who do fandom, is like, I'm like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years younger than Toby Fox, the developer. I feel like we kind of ran in a lot of the same circles and like went through a lot of the same like pipelines through the internet. And so yeah, like thinking about like genres of game that like even as simple as like kind of what's the word, not lo-fi but kind of low maybe kind of outsider or like indie, or not indie, outsider kind of naive game development for like largely narrative and like artistic purposes is like, he's like very much working in the same vein as like the RPG Maker games that are like kind of legendary in certain circles. They are like, sometimes they're not always like the strongest games, but are incredibly interesting art pieces. Toby Fox actually just recently was able to do an interview with the developer of Yume Nikki. Do you have any context for that?
I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah, it's a very famous in certain circles, kind of surreal. It's a dream simulator game. The title translates to Dream Diary. And the creator of it is so elusive and like so resistant to any amount of public exposure that like people thought that they were dead. And Toby Fox managed to get an interview with them.
Okay. Wow.
Very recently. It's groundbreaking stuff. But it makes a lot of sense because you can always see that influence. I mean, the guy that I keep talking about, the stupid character, is like directly based in many ways on a phenomenon in that game, or just like it was the kind of game that like spawned a lot of like video game urban legends and things like that, just from like wild speculation about it because it's such an enigmatic and strange like art game. I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh, also the nostalgia thing. I think partly that's a like limitations of development resources. If you're making something in like RPG Maker or Game Maker Studio like Toby Fox does, I don't know, you only have so many like options available to you. You're gonna have like 2D spriting resources and things like that, and so it kind of plays into making a more retro looking game, but also like that sense of nostalgia and that sense of like comfort being something that's sort of gently, there's like a little bit of a knife that is kind of slowly, gently twisted. There's a little bit of like a subtle subversion that always happens with those conventions in these games.
Yeah. Of
like, you think you have a handle on like what the experience is, and like how you should feel about the experience, and then, you know, quietly subvert it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think with the one other thing I noticed with like that nostalgia kick, so setting up to record like a screen capture on this thing, to capture the gameplay. I struggled for a while because like my first instinct is like, oh, 1920 by 1080, full screen, maximize, just pump out 1080p to the internet. That's fine. I've got a new empty hard drive. I can do that. But the game resists that. You can't resize the window. You can't change any parameters. And its exact dimensions are kind of funky.
Oh, that's interesting. You can't resize it from within the game?
No.
Oh, yeah, because I think I manually resized it maybe in the past.
Yeah. And at least the version that I'm running, which is the Mac version it's been modified and hacked to work in Linux. It in particular, it seems to have really tight control over the terminal window that it runs in. So you try to resize that window, snaps back to what it wants to, or I think it doesn't even resize. Yeah,
okay. That probably is a factor, because I was able to playing it on like Proton on my Pop OS machine. I was able to like manually resize it badly, with just like literally dragging the corners of the window. But yeah, there's no like in-game adjustment for that.
Not that I can find.
Not in the menus.
Well, and the thing that I noticed though out of that is I'm like trying to size this thing up. It's got like a weird size. And yeah, maybe that comes from the people who, repackaged this for Linux. But what I noticed is that it's really close to a 4x3. What I settled on was like 1280 by 960 or something like that. And the moment I started typing that in, OBS is like, oh, did you mean 4x3? And I was like, oh shit, you mean like an old TV? Like an old CRT?
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. Like, I can't say for certain that this is what the game was originally written in, but it seems to be what it wants to be in. And the proportions seem right on the screen. So I don't know. I think that might be at least one other potential nod in there to like old school gaming.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right, that it would be in a 4x3 ratio. I'm wondering to what degree that's an intentional to what degree that's like an intentional choice, and to what degree that's again kind of just like conventions with the software that's being used to develop it.
Yeah,
because I want to say Undertale was also in the same ratio, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was an intentional choice. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. Also, I should verify the window sizing thing in game, like just look at the menu and see if that's possible, because
yeah, well, like,
not that I think it really means anything, I just think it's interesting.
Like, we didn't find a menu, and we haven't the last couple of times we poked around.
Yeah, there is like a configuration menu. Yeah, and I think there might be. I think it has like full screen and windowed. I think it does have that, but I don't know if it has like window size adjustment or like aspect ratio adjustment.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to investigate that. Oh. Which
again might just be a limitations of resources thing. It may mean nothing. There's, we talked about a certain amount of sentient UI. There's maybe something diegetic that has a certain amount of power over the wrapping, the game's wrapper. So we'll see. Have I shown you the variables?
No, you haven't.
There's some interesting shit in the variables and file names. I do that off mic.
So that was level 1, talking about nostalgia. The next bit, the next level of like maybe a little heavier. It's not that much heavier. I am definitely noticing that my gaming background and instinct is at odds with this game. At least so far. I think last time I was talking about I'm waiting for the game to escalate before I put Susie in. Well, now Susie's done on her own, doing her own thing. Well, okay, I can adjust to that. And so I spent at least one round this time having both of my squishies attack and noting how much damage they can do. Right? Like sort of like preparing the planning phase of like, if push came to shove, what am I working with? How much can they take? It's not a lot. They don't even have 100 hit points. And just kind of putting myself in that planning phase for like, because my expectation, my like gaming history and instincts, like, oh, okay, they've taken away my bruiser, and now that's the opportunity for the game to like actually escalate. Right? It's given me a bunch of easy whatevers, and now that it's put me in a position, put me at a disadvantage. That is like narratively and mechanically the right time to turn the screws. You let someone be comfortable, let them have that sort of escape hatch in their back pocket, and then you take that away and then ratchet up at the same time. That's great game design. But I don't know if that's going to happen, because I think part of this game and part of this, between these two games, between Undertale and Deltarune, and just the voice, like the stylistic voice of Toby Fox, I don't know that that's going to happen. And I think it's interesting because I really do now want to maybe make you play like something like Fallout, because I think a game like that, experiencing it firsthand, I think it would illustrate for you in that first person way why I behave the way I do in games. Like, oh shit, okay, we got to double stack our defense. We have to test and like probe this game environment and see how deadly it truly is and how deadly we are in return. And start making calculations and like tough decisions about the items that I carry, the attacks that I make, the situations that I put myself into, because that's kind of my formative like years is games like the original Fallout, where things are almost unfair, I guess, and kind of random, and I don't know. I don't want to say like, oh, Nintendo hard or games are harder back then, but definitely I think the style of those games of that time was to have pretty steep, curves as you hit different parts of the narrative, and maybe even like hard walls sometimes before certain sections of the game opened up. And I find that interesting because I think that's kind of the continuing narrative I have in my head too, about like how soft is the world that these characters are in. And again, like if this world has a certain kind of softness or pliability or can be manipulated or, resolved peacefully in a lot of places, and how does that compare against the absolute like quantity of violence I could unleash on this world by letting my characters, make those attacks and be able to defend perfectly and be essentially unstoppable. I don't know. It's an interesting like conversation that I have with myself as I'm playing this game of like, will that other shoe drop? And when it does, what's my response? And if it doesn't, does it make sense to prepare for it anyways? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a long thought, but that's kind of my process, especially going through, a bunch of new little like fun combat encounters and maybe one sort of like mini boss there. I'm definitely thinking like, okay, but should I take the gloves off now? Is it time yet? And so far the answer is like, no, I think I got this. I think I can keep following sort of Ralsei's lead on that and like saying, honestly, we don't have to. We have the capability to, but we don't need to. And maybe that's the right path right now.
Yeah. As far as like background, I mean, so I honestly don't think that like the way that you're proceeding in the game is like radically different from how I did a second, maybe like third and a half playthrough of chapter 1 like a couple months ago. I feel like, like not a radically different play style for the most part, but JRPGs, if you don't have a lot of background in JRPGs, like I could see like there being a little bit of disconnect. This isn't the most like JRPG of JRPGs, but it is in that, I think it's roughly in that genre, and it's very obviously pulling from that that base, and like that's such a specific type of game. That yeah, I could see a little bit of disconnect there. And the other thing is just like Undertale. Like, you know, I am pretty well versed in Undertale, and like, you know, I've played the two routes that everybody plays, which is like some form of neutral and then true pacifist. And so it's like I'm familiar with like his narrative style and like the kinds of weird shit that he pulls in games. So yeah, I could see there being a little disconnect there too. I mean, because we've talked about it before. This game is designed for an audience that has played the other game. It's not exclusive to that audience, but yeah, there's kind of the expectation that if you're playing this game, it's because you played the other one.
Yeah.
And so I could kind of see. Yeah, and as far as shoes dropping, yeah, I don't want to.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to give you too much. But yeah, I definitely think like, because kind of getting back to like the idea of like this being in the vein of or in the tradition of like RPG Maker, like outsider developer, like art games. Like, but Undertale too. But both games are primarily in service of a narrative, and like kind of like they're sort of consummate narratives. Like every aspect of them is trying to, not every, you know, minute detail is building to a broader narrative, but like most of it is. And so like, yeah, sometimes like I think I mentioned before, like Undertale's just not like the most fun game in the world. And like that's okay. Like it doesn't need to be, because it's more of a storytelling experience than anything else, and like does have really interesting mechanics and like has some like really interesting boss fights and stuff in it. But yeah, like on the whole, yeah, it's more of a all of that is in service of a broader like kind of meta narrative, and I think having that idea in mind and like that approach, yeah. Oh, and the thing about like softness too, I think, you know, I have that thing about like I can't get into dramas, but if you show me something like BoJack Horseman or something like that, where like I can let my guard down and then be punched in the gut, that I think that's the kind of emotional storytelling style that I think like these games kind of broadly operate in, where like Toby Fox is a shit poster by trade. Like yeah. that is like his background, and that comes through very clearly in these games, and I've seen a lot of folks say like they just like can't get into them because they don't think they're funny. Like they don't think they're as funny as like the games think that they are. And like I think they're funny, but that's because like I come from like the same, like I said, like pipelines and like probably internet circles as the developer. I think that's why a lot of like Zoomers like these games, because yeah, this like powerful shit posting energy. But there is a lot of that is kind of, I mean, a lot of it is there for its own sake, as characterization, as just levity. But also a lot of it is just kind of masking something that's a little darker and it runs a little deeper. Darker yet darker. But
yeah, that is an interesting perspective, because yeah, when I talk about the game, or not the game, but the game's world, right? The inhabitants, the narrative. When I talk about it being soft, what I'm really saying is like I'm worried about breaking it, or I'm worried about hurting too many people. Like, because I see, yeah, even like as a player, like mechanically, this game can't stop me. Narratively, I'm following an interesting story, and I'm cool with that. So the places that I have power are like combat and those kind of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I have just so much like untapped potential.
That's
not because I have
point.
any particular skill, but because the game has given me, hit points and save and checkpoints and like fairly, like readable like bullet hells. Like
mm-hmm.
it's weird. It's like being like baited into something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. You do have a unique skill. You can command other characters to act.
Yes.
The monsters around you have magic. Well, the monsters in ralsei. Ralsei's a darkener. There's a distinction, but I guess there's a distinction. But yeah, you're the only one who can do acts, and that when you're saying like things are being telegraphed to me, I'm being given relatively clear choice. I have like a multiple choice that I can make every so often. I have a lore friendly companion who tells me things to do and gives me revelation. That's a good observation. You can erase timelines.
Yes.
In an incredibly ominous way. That requires 2 confirmations. Because that first one, truly erase it, it's not enough.
Yeah.
Then it will be destroyed. You're sure about this? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of my foreshadowing for you when I get you to sit down and play things like Fallout or maybe Morrowind, is the game design, especially of that era, which is the same era that like Deltarune is pulling from, but just the different philosophies that were around back then, is for RPGs like that, the sort of the flow you're supposed to go through is you're dropped into the world and you are powerless.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you do matters. You are super vulnerable, and at any moment you could die, and you will die. Reload your save, try again.
Mm-hmm.
But with those 2 games in particular, and I imagine other games I never played or have forgotten since then, there's also the sense that as you progress, if you do it right, you will outstrip everyone in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will become unstoppable through whatever trials, tribulations, dangers you've gone through. You also might not, depending on your build. You can specifically, hamstring a character and not hit those things. But especially with some of those older games and maybe, just the time that we've had with them, there are a lot of exploits. You can really push a singular main character to just obscene heights, and have a ton of power over the world. And you get there and I don't know, that's sort of the end goal of those games, is to have enough like personal power to finish the plot how you see fit. Where you can. Sometimes they don't branch. Sometimes you're following a narrative, but I feel like something like Deltarune, it takes that end game of you're in control and makes that the starting point. And I think that's an interesting like shift, and it is what kind of like makes me feel sort of slightly out of phase with the game, because I have that mindset of like, I have nothing, I will build, and then something will happen, and the game's saying like, no, actually you have a ton of power right now, and you're going to work forward with that. That's
really interesting, of like having a lot of control at the outset. I should put a pin in that.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Because what if that works in reverse?
Yeah,
control is gradually taken from you. Yeah, because that like becoming becoming an all-powerful being and like ripping just everything out of a world for the sake of doing it is like one of the core ideas that is explored in Undertale. Again, not in like a more moralizing way, just like in a what if this had ramifications for in-universe actors and they fought back. And deltarune is definitely, it's interesting. It's like it's in conversation with, it's in like metatextual conversation with like just its various influences and like broader game history as a whole, but also with its sibling game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever mentioned it before, but deltarune is actually the original idea.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Toby Fox, I guess, like kind of realized maybe the scope was a little too grand. So pared it down, came up with the Undertale idea, made the Kickstarter and you know, demos and stuff for that, and then made that game that was a lot more manageable. Which, yeah, on like a meta, I guess metatextual, that's metatextual. It's talking about things across two texts. It's not just like the, is it a sequel or prequel question? It's the like, which one is the original or like which one is the AU of the other?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Anyway, that was kind of a tangent, but.
So the last bit that I have was just talking about the characters a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Between ralsei, Lancer, and Susie in particular.
Mm.
You know, just like calling out that like ralsei, for him, like everything is very sincere. 100%. That's everything that he's about. He's got that sort of pacifist run that he's pushing, which is interesting. But it also, it makes me think of, it makes me ask, like, what's his breaking point? And does it exist? And will we find it?
Yeah.
And what does it look like? Like, you can't give someone that much sincerity and not wonder or maybe put them through what will happen when it's not enough or it's fully rejected for some reason.
Yeah, a boy can only be so fluffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of us are kind of wondering the same thing. There's maybe been arguably some foreshadowing that maybe, I mean, he's a character, he's got to have an arc. And yeah, it's interesting that like, I also find ralsei very sincere. That's a thing that like has also been up for a certain amount of debate. Mostly because of the, you know, like when that door closes, the great door.
Yes.
And he turns to look at the fourth wall.
Yep.
And there's just that moment of ominous, like, and that set a lot of folks off. That and there are more subtle things about him if you sit down and like kind of think through his character. There are a lot of like weird. Ralsei is a weird fucking character. There's a certain amount of like, is Ralsei evil? And I think it's pretty clear that like, no, Ralsei's not evil. Like Ralsei seems to sincerely believe the things that he is saying and pushing. But there's always that question of like, where is he getting this prophecy from? And like, I don't know, is there information that he doesn't have? Because I don't think Ralsei's ever lying to us. I think he's sincere, but like, yeah, is information being withheld from him? And is there just like an undercurrent of darkness? Seems like such a weird word to use, but like, because this game is all about like, what does darkness mean? What is dark and what is light? But like, yeah, there's an undercurrent of something to him that, yeah, I think a breaking point will probably maybe shed a little light, shed a little dark on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I think kind of in the same vein, Susie and Lancer are kind of playing with that a little bit. Partly because I see in Susie, you know, I call this out, and it's partly a gameplay mechanic, but also I think it's part of who she is. is that she'll say a lot but not do a lot. But also she has a pretty serious streak through her where she can threaten a lot, and I think we're pretty sure that she'll follow through on those. Again, maybe not while the main character's around, which is an interesting, aspect about her. And I think it's interesting too to have her and Lancer like put together like that, because for him, everything is playful. Nothing is serious. All of his evil plans, all of his, flaming bicycle, all of that, he's playing to something. Some idea that he has. And I don't know. I guess what I'm imagining is that between the two of them, they're going to trade notes, essentially. And she will have the, more capacity to be playful in how she approaches situations in this world. And also, obviously, and he's getting better at this, he's going to have more ability to be serious about his threats. Like, sure, yeah, what was that last one where he was like, blood splooshing everywhere, and then he throws out a bucket.
Yeah, the bucket to catch all the blood, yeah.
And it's playful and funny, but also that is seriously fucking dark, kid. You're going to bleed so much, I'm going to mop it up with this bucket, like, and even in this last session, he just he understands that he gets what it means to make a serious threat and to make it sound like something, and to actually, well, not to follow through on it, but at least, to have something backing it up. I don't think he's really followed through on anything yet, but he's definitely, I think he's almost better equipped for his transition to like taking on both sides of that coin, because I think playfulness is a better foundation. If you can play with an idea, you're sort of inhabiting it and understanding it, and can accept or reject it as you need to, and build, especially for him, build a particular persona or vibe, for the people around him. I think it's going to be tougher for Susie to go in the reverse direction, where everything is real and serious. Look at me, I'm real and serious. Oh, but how do I incorporate playfulness or openness into that? And become a little more well-rounded in that way. And I think they make a really good pairing.
Yeah.
I had no hard feelings when she switched sides. I'm like, yes, this is good for you. You need this.
Yeah. Yeah, Lancer's like the perfect little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're both like... Lancer is, he's like kind of been... He's got this narrative role as like a darkener to be a bad guy. And it's something that like he doesn't know anything. Like it's the thing that he does. He's the bad guy. But he's so obviously like just utter garbage at being the bad guy. Because he's just a kid. Like he's just a little goofy boy. And like Susie as like a lightener, maybe being more, I'm doing air quotes, like real, or, maybe having more dimensions. There's all sorts of shit we can get into with that, but like she's in this role of bad guy because she's a bully in the story, right? But also, like you were saying, she's kind of she's more talk than she is walk. We never see her kill anybody.
True.
She'll rough people up, but she's never killed anyone. She makes some big threats to Kris, but then still, like doesn't actually hurt them.
Yeah.
And kind of just is a little petulant, but like isn't terribly like hostile to them, like after that point. And like you're saying, like still doesn't want to skip school. And the fact that she is scared of being expelled, it's like, I don't know if she's that bad of a bitch. Like, does she even care about going to school?
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't she just drop out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very clear that like, yeah, like even at this point in the story, that to a certain degree she's just kind of leaned into the bulliness of it all. Maybe that's not like core to her character. And yeah, with like Lancer, it's like Lancer's the first like other kid who's ever been like not afraid of her.
Yeah.
And like wants to hang out with her and wants to learn from her. She's the first real friend that she's ever had.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's maybe the first real friend that he's ever had. Yeah. It's interesting that yeah, because we're only I don't know if we're halfway through. We're maybe like 2/3 of the way through this first chapter at this point. So don't want to talk on it too much, but I did see someone bring up some interesting parallels between like ralsei and Lancer that I think once we're through chapter 1 we can talk about. But Lancer's a little bit of a doormat at the start of like in the last couple of sessions that we played, and it's kind of interesting to see, like you were saying, like him get a little better at advocating for himself within this like goofy bad guy framework.
Yeah, he can trash talk better. He can make things sound scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of like potential self-actualization he could start doing with these new, I guess, skills he's picking up. He can actually inhabit different aspects of his personality a little more fully.
Yeah. Whereas like ralsei's just kind of, it's like he was made to be a companion who listens to everything that you do. And to give you advice, but also to listen to what you tell him to do. Yeah. It'd be fun if you're willing to play chapter 2. I'd be interested to see after this first chapter. Because things kind of pick up a little bit in chapter 2, but yeah.
Cool.
Oh, do you have any? This might seem like a weird question. Do you have any observations about Kris at this point?
I didn't even write their name down in my notes this time.
Yeah, and there's no right answer to this.
Yeah.
I've just purely out of curiosity because it came to mind.
I mean, there's a couple of different, like, I guess thoughts I've had, or maybe through lines that I'm looking for. Like starting from the intro, it's pretty obvious that. And again, is this gameplay? Is this narrative? Is this in text or out of text? Just a full gray rock, right? As far as like a defense mechanism. If you live in a world full of people who are acting against your interests, either passively or actively like Susie, one of your options is to just shut off, don't engage, and not acknowledge what's happening. And for the main character, for Kris, that seems to be the absolute like number one like position. Do nothing. And even in a little way, like the combat mechanic is that the most valuable thing you can do as the main character is not anything yourself, is to have other people act on your behalf.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main through line I'm feeling, is that in maybe a potentially interesting metatextual way, the main character has no personal will or motivation or anything like that. But also I think it is trying to say something about that character in actuality. Like there is something there to be talked about. Like they have that aspect of being as much as they can disengaged from the world around them, going through the motions, doing what they're supposed to do, but not actually engaging.
Yeah, it's interesting. The gray rocking angle to it is really interesting. Yeah, I think there's something to be said for the gray rocking. I'm thinking about the scene with Malleus when you had them like fix you, and like ralsei does like a silly, like kind of splat pose, but Kris is just like the same sprite, just like neutral face, like no change in body language.
I did notice that the combat victory poses, I don't remember Kris's because I don't know if it's much of anything. But ralsei gives you a little round of applause.
Oh, yeah.
Again, engaged with what's happening, while Kris doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, and I think, like, Susie, like, power poses. I think, like, yeah, I think Kris maybe just, like, they have some kind of animation, but I think they just kind of, like, you know, stand there with their sword or something. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's Kris is really interesting. If you pay close enough attention, there's arguably moments where you get like little hints of things. There, we never checked out the Choco Diamond.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Also like once I keep forgetting there's a lot of the exposition happens in the epilogue for the chapter. So that'll be kind of interesting to go through that. But so like the Hearts Donut and the Choco Diamond actually have different healing values depending on who you give them to. I think for ralsei they're the same, but Susie heals more from the donut because it's like, you know, it's like blood and skin and yeah. But the chocolate heals Kris by a whole lot, but they're kind of ambivalent about the donut. Yeah. So Kris likes chocolate.
You know, that's something. I
and
guess.
Like, which also like there's a certain amount of relevance to that again from the OG, the other game. But yeah, like there are little details like that, or like when just opening the closet door, Kris without any input like backs away from the door.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like there are like little details. Yeah, folks have been picking over this game to try to find stuff like that, but and also just the fact that like Kris is Kris, like they're not the vessel that you created.
True.
Like in and of itself is like a and yeah, you're talking about like just kind of being at the whims of other things. The player most obviously, but not necessarily only the player, also just like the people and environments around them. Yeah. Anyway, that was the main reason. Yeah, it's just Kris is an interesting character, and I think I also at this point in the game, because I by design was not thinking that much about Kris, or just like details about Kris. It's one of those things that just is very, very subtle, and probably will be built on over time. But yeah, when I say like stuff is largely serving narrative and like largely meta narrative, yeah, a lot of times like it should Toby Fox is a very thorough storyteller, I think is the best way I would describe his style. It's like every time he adds a mechanic or something, there's always that thought of like, how does this tie in to something else? But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I had.
Yeah, can't really think of anything else.
Okay.
I should show you the maybe the variables and file names. I should show you the unused strings because those are kind of interesting. Well, no, I'll wait on that because they don't have a lot of context at this point.
Okay.
Or no, maybe I'll show them to you out of context.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you want to do your sign off?
Make sure to ring that bell and subscribe.
No, the other one.
What was the other one?
Go to hell.
Oh. Go to hell.